Yeah, hello. We are Geeks Assembled, and today we are talking about a story about a poltergeist that has bothered us community in a house and in a family that is in the community of Battersea. It's called the Battersea Poltergeist, and um, this is Geeks Assembled. This is Audio Heads. This is the first time we've done sort of a quasi nonfiction podcast style type story, and but it has some narrative moments, so it'll just be good to figure out what this is like for Lee. And so I'm going to go over to him and open this with uh, his opening thoughts. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, the Battersea Poltergeist, written by Danny Robbins, um,
Yeah.
who was famous for the Witch Farm
Mm-hmm.
podcast. Also, I follow his and listen to his Uncanny podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you listen to the Battersea Poltergeist, it's the his Uncanny podcasts are him going out there trying to find reasons behind these hauntings on or UFO sightings and stuff like that. Talking to people who experienced it, um, without any of the drama of actors in it. You know what I mean? So you take away the acting and the drama.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's what the Uncanny Podcast is.
Mm.
What you're left with if you take away the actors from this audio, um,
Yeah.
and it's really and it's really doing good. This Uncanny Podcast. So I do recommend it, Susan, if you ever get a chance to listen to it.
Okay.
They're in. I think they're into season 4 now. Um, so what he's done, he's taken a true story of events from in the 1950s,
Mm-hmm.
had it dramatized with actors, and in between all that, he's doing his investigation and looking into you know all the evidence, what was left behind by the ghost hunter Harold Chibbett, played in the drama section by Toby Jones, of all people. He gets about it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Um, yeah, I mean, you've got Ben Gorman in this as
Uh-huh.
the Wally, the father of the young lass. Daphne Keane is Shirley, the young girl. You've got Scorchus Cusack as the grandmother. You've got who else have you? David Troughton as the psychic medium person who the con man,
Uh-huh.
um, in there. So you've got several really recognisable voices in the drama section of this investigation. Um,
It was cool.
yeah, it's different to what we usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
That's true too.
yeah, because me, when it comes to audio drama, I hate
Mm-hmm.
narrated stories where someone's just reading a story to you. I hate that. But this is different. This is
Yeah.
an investigation. He's putting all the evidence together, going through all this paperwork, what was in a box,
Mm-hmm.
uh, until it was handed to him. And they do interview people what were there. Well, the only living witness was the young girl, Shirley.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in this, I mean, when was this? A few years ago now. She was in her 80s when they interviewed her back then.
Right.
So she was the only living witness.
Right.
Um, but to put that with the drama, it is. What was it? Eight episodes, 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's and they're about 30 to 40 minutes long. So I spread it out, on a daily basis, so I could get through them a lot easier. I didn't listen to them all in one go, but yeah, I like Danny Robbins' enthusiasm for this,
Yeah.
and he comes across as a really nice person in his podcasts, and
Oh, good.
he really does show enthusiasm. He he wants to prove that there is something of an afterlife, but
Oh,
he has to have but you have to have skeptics there as well. You have to have both sides of the fence just to say, look, rein you in, because look, you're going into fantasy land now. Let's just pull you back a bit. This is what
yeah.
we think is the answer to this. So that could be
Yeah.
well explained. So yeah, it's a good drama, well acted. Um, there was a few twists and turns in this. I mean, it was all what happened. With with what was the name of the poltergeist now? They named him, didn't they?
Donald.
Arnold. That was it. Donald. Um, yeah, but it seemed to be attracted to the young girl.
Mm, very much. Yeah.
Yeah, it even had the reporter stay with
Yeah.
her, and because they didn't believe what she was telling them. But after that night staying with her, you know, because one of the papers tried to debunk her as a faker.
Right. Right. And the then
I
the
thought that was quite the story, what Shirley was saying about what happened to her with the newspaper was
right.
they should that was beyond. They should have got the law involved there.
Yeah.
Having her been medically probed and lied
Right.
to just
Right.
to make her out as on a headline as a faker, um, behind the family's back. Horrible, horrible. But that's what the newspapers were, and mostly still are today. They'll do anything to get a headline and to sell papers. So anyway, that was my
Um.
opening thought.
The newspaper. Yeah. That was atrocious. And but the horror in this was more than just like the micro political stuff. It was you got a lot of freaking awesome like scenes with the poltergeist with Donald, and I think it's really funny that it was named Donald. I like the poltergeist would knock a certain, and it would knock yes or no. It
Yeah,
was like it was it was conversant. It was yes or no conversant or yes no, and the other. It would count down, it would count up, it would, and then, you know, the, Danny said that there would be, it was moving from this stage, which is knocking an auditory, into, you know, pushing things around very gently. And then as it got more and more upset or whatever, it would be voices, and then after that point it was more violent attacks,
yeah,
and then uh like what was it, Shirley ended up floating a couple of
yeah,
times, I guess, and a couple of different like parts of her life as the Donald would worked up again. So I mean, like that was really amazing. Is that, like there was that kind of connection, and yeah, the fact that it felt like like they were doing a study on the boogeyman. It was really like like they had this. I mean, the fact that all the other poltergeists are kind of described in these formulaic methods, what was his house built on a graveyard or something? But no, it was like something that kind of just got sort of scooped up into the house and into her life. And that was really interesting. The difference between Battersea and the other poltergeist hauntings at the time. And there's
Um,
lots of these things. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Um, I mean, it all started, according to the dramatization, with the appearance of that mysterious key,
Oh yeah, yeah,
which
yeah,
we,
exactly.
which we never found out what it was for,
I know,
because
that's true.
um, but as soon as the appearance of that key, that's when the banging and the noise started. So bad that the
That
neighbours
neighbors
came,
heard. I
paid,
know. It's like, I mean,
uh,
it takes so much noise to get outside your house. I mean, people have had their stereos up to 11 and
well,
like your neighbors don't even fucking hear it. So like that was
and
yeah.
what did Danny and his wife do? He did the experiment in his own home and got his
Yeah,
neighbours to ring him when they could hear the noise on his stereo thing, and he
right.
and he blasted his speakers to bits.
And his speakers were gone. Right, I know. That's what I mean.
So
That was a noisy
yeah,
ghost. That was like a noisy neighbor ghost.
yeah. But you see, in this, the witnesses, you've got more than just one. You've got the
Mm-hmm.
full family. You've got the full
Uh-huh.
family.
Yeah.
And, the mother, father, the grandmother, the stepbrother, who
Mm-hmm.
allegedly could have been the one who did it,
Could have.
could have done it, as he was a bit, when he found out he was adopted and stuff like that, he may have tried to take revenge that way. But Shelley wouldn't have any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because the experience was for her. I mean, you can't say the stepbrother caused her to float in the air.
I know, right?
So yeah,
Yeah, and the other floaty things, like the pan kind of
yeah,
floating gently through the first time before it got violent. So
mm-hmm,
that huge cast iron skillet pan, heavy thing. They said it was a really heavy pan. It sort of floated through the living room
yeah.
out of the kitchen. I mean, just anyway, go
I
ahead.
mean, but also you had the unexplainable, the fire,
Hmm. Yeah.
um, the mysterious letters, notes
Hmm.
left, which Danny got a handwriting expert,
Hmm.
to confirm what
Not the same
she said, yes, it's the same handwriting as Shirley,
as Shirley, but not the brother.
not the brother. So
Right.
confront an 80-odd-year-old Shirley, she doesn't remember writing any of them. So was she under the influence of Donald writing them? Was she, did she start the fire? Was she under the influence of Donald doing that? Because there is cases where it's possession, isn't it? That's what
Uh
the
huh.
possession. Um, but yeah, a great in-depth look into this story, and I do like the performance of Toby Jones as Chibbit, as Chib, as the
Hmm.
ghost who put all his, who just spent all his life
Hmm.
trying to prove that there's something beyond the veil, and which was, his wife hated it because all he spent all his time sleeping under people's tables or on the sofas, taking notes. And without Chib, we wouldn't have got the poltergeist, the Battersea Poltergeist drama, what we're talking about now, without his notes.
Right, right, right.
Um, but he seemed
Thanks,
a right,
Jim.
yeah, he seemed a right character.
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen old photos of Chib on the in the internet, and God, he does look a little bit like Toby Jones.
Oh, oh, that's cool. I gotta look him up.
Little glasses and a pipe.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, but all in all, I enjoyed it because I do like it. I mean, I've been on paranormal investigations myself. I haven't been on for a few years now, but I've been there. I know what it's like.
Oh, wow,
It,
cool.
it's the anticipation of wanting something to happen,
Hmm.
just to say, "I believe,"
Hmm.
because that's what they want. People just want to believe. You
Hmm.
get you get the skeptics will have an answer for nearly everything,
Yeah,
but they can't prove that answer is right.
right.
So both sides
Right.
of the
We
coin.
would, Alex and I went on a spooky tour of Boston, and like there was lots of us were just sitting there kind of waiting for something weird to happen on that tour. Not an investigation though. Nothing as in depth as all that, but it's
Was it just
fun.
like a ghost walk?
Exactly, precisely. Like this place is haunted, that place is haunted. This kind of ghost appears here. This one was a poltergeist.
That
This
was
one has a book that's covered in skin, human skin.
yeah.
This one has these kind of things that happen and all this
Um,
craziness.
the
So,
things I went on is that we went through the night till early morning in one
oh
particular
my
place.
gosh, oh
Um,
my gosh,
around the place,
good for
historical.
you. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was good. I've seen things I can't explain.
Nice,
Um, I heard things I can't explain. Was
nice.
but I'm into all that. I love it. Um, but there's more skeptics in the world than there's believers. So it's going
Yeah,
to be
true.
a never-ending investigation for everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And the
But
interesting thing is that this Battersea Poltergeist seems to be really well researched and was if it didn't inspire Amityville horror, it at least has some of the beginning stages of Amityville horror. The story there were
I suppose,
taken from
did any of this, because this was 1950s Britain, did
yeah.
any of that get across to America to inspire Amityville? I don't know.
I think it may have because the sort of steps the sort of like kind of this part of the manifestation happens and then this part and then this part and then this part
Yeah,
um that that sort of reality those step by step things that was very much part of the Amityville story
yeah.
and I just thought that this was so well researched and they had so many they had experts that were like in agreement with one another and that was fun because a lot of the time if you're looking at the UFO or the other kinds of you know sort of left of field um, looking materials, you're looking at people who disagree with one another. But in this case, in the Battersea Poltergeist case, a lot of the experts actually, concur and agree, and they have a lot of like similar experiences with the family and like
Well,
that.
I sometimes like it when he does have the professional skeptics there. These scientists or these
Mhm,
people. He usually has two of them at a time. Uh,
right.
Sometimes they've got an answer for nearly everything, but sometimes they can't explain or give a good answer for what's happening.
I know
And,
it's that's
and
that's the spooky bit.
when a skeptic person goes down that route, you think, right, got you. But I've got to. I
Oh
mean,
my god.
Danny Robbins' Uncanny podcast. The season what's just aired. Um, he's all in America. He's
Nice.
done a season where he's investigating things in America. You want to check that one out, Susan? And also,
Sure.
I fully recommend reading his book Into the Uncanny.
Okay.
Uh, Danny, yeah, Danny Robbins, Into the Uncanny. Um, so it's mostly there online for Kindle or Audible or whatever.
So
Um,
if after doing this
so
podcast, Lee, Danny wants to take you on a trip, would you be willing to go with him on a?
well, he usually goes and interviews people who's experienced the things. He doesn't usually take Joe Public along with him. It's
You're
usually
not
just
Joe.
him in his. It's
You
usually him
won't
in
be
his.
you won't be Joe Public. Like just
No,
listen to me. You're not Joe Public. You're someone who's had some experience, and you are also someone who has involved with like kept up with uh
oh,
his
yeah,
different phases.
yeah. I mean,
So I just think that he would be really
admittedly,
smart to choose you.
admittedly, I came to him through Uncanny,
Hmm.
and then gone. I never listened to Witch Farm, and I never listened to Battersea Poltergeist. So until this week, and then he also he's done a stage play as well. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called now. So something about ghosts. Um, it has been a successful play, and then he
Hmm.
says he's gone down the route of investigating, and good on him for doing it because he wants to believe, he wants to be proved that there's something there, and his podcast is getting bigger and bigger. We're following, it's getting bigger and bigger every time. He's this
Yep.
this year he, this year he turns to TV Halloween for because he did it a year or so ago where he had three stories on TV. And
Oh,
I think he's
good.
doing it again. Uh,
What's his TV stories called?
oh, uh,
Is it Uncanny?
it's uncanny. What's it called? There was three. I think there was three
Okay, I'll
investigations.
find him.
Yeah,
Danny Robbins is someone that I will pursue then because I didn't I Lee, I'd never heard of the Uncanny podcast. I you know you may have mentioned it at one point, but
yeah.
I
I
honestly
mean,
hadn't.
I've got his book up there into the uncanny, and it's Danny Robbins with one B.
Oh,
If you're looking him up, he's on
okay.
social media. He's on social media as well. You can follow him on X and Instagram or wherever, and
Oh, cool.
He's on the. But yeah,
All right.
he's a good
Thanks.
journalist and investigator.
Yeah.
So, but going back to uh, Battersea Poltergeist, I enjoyed it. It was a good mixture of what I'm used to with his podcast, with added drama, and to get some great actors like you said, Toby Jones and Gorman
Oh my
and
gosh.
Troughton and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a really fun story. The way the family was portrayed was really fantastic, and like they had a lot of um twists and turns with their family stuff, and I just really appreciated that they made it all so exciting.
yeah.
Um and so there, I mean, as they were sitting there in the, you know, after a little introduction, you'd actually get into the story a little bit, and then you'd just be sitting there kind of waiting for something horrible to happen. And um, I think that there was a video game like about 3, 4 years ago that came out called Phantasm or something like that. That was like a ghost hunter uh, uh, video game, kind of like a single person perspective video game, and it was really amazing. And I just felt like that, like I was just kind of waiting. And I did find him on X, and so followed him. And
Cool.
I will like pursue this some more. But it is nice to know that this kind of genre of audio is something that you enjoy, and so it's definitely something that I enjoyed. I it was like a modern day Scarifiers, actually. I've got to be honest with you. That was what I felt like. Am I right?
Well, well, you see, Danny Robbins is a comedy writer as well. He has
Yeah. So
written
like,
he has written comedy.
so it was lighthearted. I guess that maybe that's what I was picking up on. But the reality is that, you know, the scary stuff is also, you know, something that your team gets a chance to look at, and then you know, the podcast part of it was really fun. Anyway, the yeah, so nonfiction adventures can be done too. So let's see if the things that are kind of horrible and spooky that are more nonfiction. And yeah, excellent casting.
I've it,
Anything is there anything else, Lee?
yeah, yeah. The stage play is called 222, a ghost story.
Okay.
I knew it had ghost in the title. I've just looked it up. But yeah, it's done the rounds, that play. Um,
Fantastic.
it's but
And
as I
it's going to
say,
be on telly. It was
um,
three episodes last year and 3 episodes this year.
yeah, there was three investigate. I'm sure it was three. I bought the DVD as well.
Okay.
It was three. Yeah, I'm sure stories in it, and it's going to be. I'm sure he said it's returning this year, so I've got a week to go, just under a week to see when it. Looking forward to it. But as I say, it's podcasts. You want to listen to them. They're on. They're
I just found them
BBC,
all.
they said they're on Spotify. They're on BBC Sounds.
They're
Um,
on Apple iTunes podcast, and they have also appeared in like what was the other one that was there? Let me see. uh, yeah, uh, Audible? No, I don't remember anyway.
But yeah, you
But
want
I
to
found him on the iPlayer or
yeah
iTunes.
you want to give a few. Well, start. I would say start with season one and work your way through, and
Okay,
you'll enjoy
okay,
them. You will enjoy them. There are varied stories. You say he interviews the people what's happened. You know the experiences happened to.
right.
But it goes from ghost stories to, as I say, UFO sightings. It just doesn't stick with ghosts. And in the American season, you know, you've got the Bigfoot and stuff like that as well. So
Oh,
he
cool.
does have a bit of a mixed bag what he investigates. So, but
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
it's great. So now I've listened to the Battersea Poltergeist. It's it makes me gonna have to listen to the Witch Farm at some point now.
Yeah, it looks like they 14 hours ago they came down with a Halloween countdown one. Holy smokes,
Mm.
I'm into it. I'm into it. Good. Thanks,
Yeah,
Lee.
he's been doing he's been releasing one every day up to Halloween, and it's about 2 minutes long each one.
Yep.
He's just leading up to Halloween for this year.
Yep.
So,
Start with
but yeah,
season one. Will
that was
do.
season one right the way through. That's what I've done. You'll
All right.
enjoy it.
Cool. All right. So final say and score, Lee. The
Um,
Battersea Poltergeist by Danny Robbins and crew.
um, enjoyed it. I didn't think I would because you know about it was an experimental mixture of drama and
I know.
documentary. Um, but it worked. I think that only
Mm-hmm.
worked for me personally because I was used to his podcast.
Mm.
It had the added ingredient of the drama put into it. Um, so yeah, it worked for me there. Great actors in it, great enthusiasm from Danny Robbins. Um, so it's going to get 10. It's going to get 10 raps on the door.
Mm.
Out of 10.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I will concur with my learned partner here. this is this is properly scary. It's properly atmospheric. It's got great educational potentialities, and it's really really cool, scary and fun, and yeah, I enjoyed it a whole lot. And so 10, let's see, 10 floating, you know, heavy um, fry pans out of 10 floating through the kitchen. I just think that was so cool. And I just would like to encourage you that if you do find yourself floating above your bed at night, uh,
Could be the
try
could be the
fly.
thing.
Don't freak out. Just try flying. Okay. I just want you to not freak out. Just try flying. I mean, there's two things that can happen in this story. You can get scared, or you can get empowered. So try flying. Okay, okay, that's me.
It's the fairy dust. It's the fairy dust, you see.
Uh-huh, I think so too. Anyway, it was such a good story. I got a lot out of it, and it was so much fun to be spooked again, like Amityville Horror did when it first came out. Anyway, super cool. Enjoyed it. Thanks, Lee. Thanks, Lee, for joining us. Please do like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button. And then also, if you're around and you want to join us, come on. We're doing a whole bunch of fucking spooky shit this Halloween. And that's fun. And then we're also doing audio adventures, and this week is another ghostly one. We're doing the Phantom of the Opera. the 1925 movie with Lon Chaney and with silent movie. I mean, it's a silent movie, and there's like, you know, titles between scenes that describe. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So cool. Anyway, it's like it used to be. It's way back the way it used to be. And
Mm.
anyway, other things that we'd like to let you know that if you'd like to subscribe, you could share this thing widely.
Yeah.
Let the algorithm know that we're here, and also join us on social media. Especially join the Facebook group because that's something that Lee takes care of like like nobody's business, and he's just really really good at that. And I just would encourage you to join that group because it is nothing but geeky stuff from
Yeah.
A to Z. And with all of that said, thanks for watching. Boo.